sir.
Yo.
Welcome
back to the Mark Our Words podcast, the official podcast of YouTube. What's good with you, Chip?
Man, life is beautiful, man.
What's
beautiful about life? I'm going to answer that.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Look, so today, I woke up next to my beautiful girl.
Shout out.
We went for a run. She's part of this running group. Did that. We went for a run. Came back. We had a little bit of donuts.
Donuts?
Yeah, donuts. Yeah.
I mean, you ran.
Balance.
Do that kind of mess up the run?
It's a balance. You gotta balance it out. You know, you go for a run, then you can eat a donut. Or you eat a donut, you go for a run. Came back, you know, put on like a little face mask, some self-love. That's what
a face mask from like from Target or something like that?
Nah. But it's I don't know if you heard about it. Like Indian healing cream or Indian healing clay.
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah, did that real quick.
I see my girl right now taking notes. So, Indian healing cream.
Yeah, but
next day I have Indian healing cream all over my face. I see it right there.
You know, did that? Wash my hair. Did a little shape up, and then now we here.
The thing that's
why I text you. I was like, "You come here. Let me know when you coming."
No. Your girl is funny because her birthday celebration coming up.
Yeah.
And my girl, of course, got an invite. Well, let me not say of course. She got an invite, right? I met your girl before my girl. Mm-hmm. I talked to your girl before my girl.
Yeah, but y'all never hanged out one-on-one.
They only hung out once.
It was a great hangout.
So I was like, where's my invite? And my girl was like, it's on my invite. You freaking come too. I said, hold on, you're not gonna you can come to me when I met her first. Uh-huh. I set up the double date.
That's the life we in now, man. Where now the best friends form from the other best friend groups. Mm-hmm. You gonna be best friends with her girl's husbands?
No,
or boyfriend? Oh,
damn, I'm anti.
Damn.
I'm real.
My girl got a couple cool friends that got cool boyfriends and husbands.
They're like whenever y'all around, y'all like talk
cool.
to.
Yeah. She got a couple cool ones.
I'm trying to think. I don't think my girl have any friends that are in like real relationships, except for one. Except for one, but she's a lesbian.
Oh,
so
you can be cool with that.
I can, but they both go talk to Blair. Nobody talks to me.
No one that likes to play basketball.
No. They are like
be like, hey, what's up, man?
No.
Okay.
They both be talking to Blair because they both know Blair the longest.
Okay.
I mean they are nice to me and stuff like that. They very nice.
Like, hey Blair, what's up, little nigga? It's like, hey, this is my
I'll be like, I know they very nice. You probably go see them and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
you
know, because I'm trying to gather all our friends in the sense of like I'm trying to be with her friends every now and then because she's always around my friends and stuff like that. So maybe one of these days we called into Baltimore or something like that. We all just go out to eat or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because this weekend been probably, I don't know how you experienced this since we talk about friends.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough for me, but better than I expected, but still tougher than I planned for. One of our boys, his mother passed away, unfortunately. And like we've been in her house like numerous times. She opened her doors to us and even like she made sure there was food there. She just made sure that we was taken care of. So actually
there was a part of our friendship where we was going to her house and just chilling all four of us
and it wasn't no mansion. You know what I'm saying? So it's
and
like
she opened her place for us.
She opened up her place. She opened up her living room, and you know how now that I'm older, and I actually I'm like
that's wild.
Now
20-year-old boys in my house, like what y'all doing here?
And we all bigger than her, like so. And now that I'm older, you know well you probably haven't experienced this, but since my girl lived with me, she invited some of her friends over to our place, but my place, right?
It was yours first.
It's still mine, right? And whenever they come, I'm secluded into my room, and I give them the bigger I give them the space. So you can only imagine that my man, he invited all of us over. And if she's not working, she's not there. But if she is there, she just like, I'll just be in my room. You know what I mean? So, but she passed away.
Yeah.
And of course, we all was there for him. And it was very it was challenging, and not challenging in the sense of like, of course there's sadness, but it's like I don't know how to be there for him in this moment, even though I lost my parents myself, both my parents. Yeah. But it's like it's so unique. Like every situation is not the same. Even this felt different. I was like, wow, this is strange. But
on that subject, my man just called me, different mans, and he was like, when he asked me the question, he's like, yeah, I don't know if you ever lost somebody like a close relative before. Mm-hmm. And I said that, I was like, yeah, I mean, and he was like, I know you lost your father, but y'all weren't close. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I ever did. I mean, the closest person is probably my grandfather. But I think it's weird, like, because it's old age. Like, my grandfather always been, like, old.
Even when he was a little less old.
Like, even when he was less old, like, in my head, like, I'm like 5'6", and he's in his 60s.
Yeah.
So when he passed, he was like hitting 80s. So it was kind of like it made sense.
It basically made it feel like he lived a full life.
Yeah, like he was old when I met him. Versus like his kids, they remember him more vibrant, and he was sick too. Like when I was like young, but he got sicker as I grew. Whereas his kids, they remember him probably as like a 20, 30, 40-year-old man, and when he was more vibrant and not sick. And so for them, it was a lot harder. So even my grandfather passing, I don't think it hit me like it hit, my, losing a mother, and even my friend who has who lost his grandmother, because he grew up with his grandmother, and she was also like the caretaker and vibrant in the house when he grew up with her. And so like, just sitting back, I don't even know what that experience is like and how to even navigate that experience. And because he was like, I remember our man, he hit you, and he was like, yo, I don't know how you did this at a young age, like, because this is different.
Yeah.
So what is that experience like, if you could put it into words, and how do you even navigate that space?
I mean, you just gotta wake up every day. I mean, it sounds crazy, but you literally just have to wake up every day, and I think that's half the battle. I think we really underestimate the human strength and how we adapt to things. Of course, you say, I don't know how you did it, but you saying that while you still have.
I haven't.
Yeah, you like you have it, so you never experienced it. Yeah. But once you're pushed into it, you be surprised how quickly you adapt to not having parents or a parent or grandparent and things like that. I don't know. I thought it would be easier to lose a parent the older you got, because you're mature and things like that. But it's just like, I've heard people who are in their 50s say, yeah, when I lost my parents, I fell into depression. I'm just like, really? Like, yo, your parent was 90. You know what I mean? And it is different when, I think what makes it hard is how. The how matters. And we need to talk about how really matters. My mother passed away when she was 42, I believe. Yeah. And I think my father was 62. So this wasn't a situation to where they wake up and they sleep. Because if all death happened that way, then I think you could see the beauty of, like, a fulfillment of life. But when
in old age.
Yeah, in old age. But at 42, you kind of like,
they had so much more.
I'll be 42 in 11 years. Dude, you get what I'm saying? So it's like,
10 years ago seems like it was just yesterday.
So it's like, dang, she was young. And then to be on life support for my mom and stuff like that. So you kind of have to deal with these traumatic images in your head of how you first see your parent to how they are when they're sick. And our boy had to deal with that too. I think what's going to haunt him more, and when I say haunt him, I mean like hard to get over, is basically the transformation of how she was when she was healthy till how she looked when she was sick.
I was wondering about that because you also had to deal with that.
Yeah. But
you still saw your father as Superman.
I did, and I did at that point. But there's a reality because I'm not a kid anymore. Like he needs help. You get what I'm saying? But to see them dissolve in front of you, that's a traumatic thing. Yeah. You can't take out your head. So it's gonna. I know. We joked about it at the house. And
can you actually tell us? Can we actually break down the story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
we're eating.
We just got, the funeral just happened. And our man who just lost his mother was like, man, I just got over the hardest part.
And look,
and this guy's eating something like, you had chicken?
I had chicken and fish.
Oh, okay. You had chicken and fish. You like, man, the hardest part just beginning. He's like, I was like, bro, can we encourage our man right now? Like,
I said, and listen, I thought I was being honest. because he came downstairs like, "Ooh, the hard part is over," and I was like, "Mm-mm." The hard part is just beginning. Wait till you go to sleep tonight.
Yeah, he was like, "You gotta go to sleep." I was like, "What?" You gotta wake up tomorrow.
I was about to say,
what?
And then I did say Freddy Krueger. I didn't mean to say Freddy Krueger, but it just that's just the temperament of guy friends and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Of like, but I did tell him it's gonna be peak and valleys. It's gonna be days where you feel good. It's gonna be days, and the valleys come out of nowhere.
Yeah, you still experience those?
Yeah,
even now.
Yeah,
with both parents or just
more with my father.
Okay,
more with my father because I remember I was old enough to see it,
and you was there through the whole process.
Yeah, so like my mom is more like I miss my mom. You get what I'm saying? I was only 12, so it's like it felt like it was so long. Like it felt like she was sick forever.
Yeah.
But from what I was told, it wasn't really a long process of her being in the hospital from the time she was in the hospital till the time she passed away. Wow. I felt like she was in there for at least a year. You know what I mean? Yeah. But with the old man, it's some days I wake up and it's hard when you got a girl, man. Oh my gosh, because you really can't explain why you're short that day. You get what I'm saying? And I don't want to only pigeonhole it to if you lost a parent, you're moody. Like some days you just wake up moody and you just woke up not on the wrong side of the bed, but you just want to talk. Yeah. You don't want to explain yourself either of why.
It's your father that's doing it?
It's something. I think it's a concoction of like a lot of things.
Okay.
And I think it always go back to my father. Because whenever like you wake up or whenever you're going through hard times, you look to, let me talk to my, and then you be like,
he's not here.
Exactly. So then now you're even more upset that you really ain't got nobody to really go to. So you just not mope, but you just like, And then on the other side, like I'm moody in some factors. Not moody to where I'm just yelling and things like that. But there's some days where I'm as talkative as I am right now, and then some days I just don't want to talk. My girl is the opposite. Good morning. She always asks me how did I sleep? Smiling, you know what I mean?
He was right there. You were sleeping right there with me.
And I say I slept. You know what I mean? But it's a good balance. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is you really don't know why you feel that way, but you just feel that way.
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as just saying, hey, just communicate when you feel that way.
Yeah.
Because
in that moment, you don't
because in the moment, not only do you not want to, you really just don't know why. You just don't want to be. You just feel what you feel.
I can understand that feeling.
Okay.
But I can't. I never lost somebody close.
But you talk about like you can understand like why in the moment you don't know why.
Sometimes I get moody. You know what I'm saying? But it's like sometimes you like I'm tripping.
Oh, okay,
it's like I'm tripping. I don't know how to explain to my girl that I'm tripping. Mm-hmm. So right now, I'm just, one thing somebody said to me is like, before you had to explain a action, let the person know about the action. For example, like if you went through like some traumatic experience and somebody does something, mm-hmm. it's hard to explain in the moment because one, you're already in that process.
You're already in the midst of it.
You're in a sensitive mode right now. So
Mm-hmm.
anything the person might say, well, it's like, why are you even tripping about this? It's like, yo, what do you mean I'm tripping about it? It's like, so the person said, tell the person like, yo, sometimes, and that's what I did with my girl. Like sometimes I be getting moody. I don't know why. I don't know why I be getting moody.
So basically, you saying you basically give that warning before you're moody.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so when I do get in those moments, my girl just give me a little grace because she's like, that's not him all the time. Like,
you can't be moody all the time.
Nah, you moody all the time.
That's you. You ain't moody.
Therapy. I haven't done that in a while, but I think this is a perfect time to say that.
Like if you're moody all the time, you're not moody. That's your mood. Okay. like you are not. This is who you are, mm-hmm. and you need therapy. But no, it's hard because I don't consider myself moody. But like with me, the way it comes over me is just I don't feel like talking. And the thing about it is, before I was living with someone, I didn't have to talk if I ain't have to talk if I ain't have to. Yeah. So you don't really even know if you're really in that mood because you're just like, hey, I'm just gonna be quiet as I normally do, unless I get a phone call or things like that. But there is a benefit to. I don't want to say sitting in that mood. But there is a benefit to having someone who is the opposite of that, who can, I don't want to say reel you in, but kind of like
this is life.
Yeah, it's
just a reminder.
Yeah, it's just like it's. I appreciate someone asking me. I may not appreciate it in the moment, mm-hmm. but I appreciate someone asking me, "How did I sleep? Mm-hmm. You good?" Mm-hmm. Do you get what I'm saying? In the moment, I may not be able to see it. Or I may not value it in the sense of like I slept. Like I don't know, I was asleep. Unless you was hit me upside the head, I wouldn't know how I slept. Yeah. But there is a value to someone caring about you enough to check up on you and be like, "You good? You straight?" And like my girl won't understand that until it's time for her to experience that for herself, because it's like, oh, I know that. Losing a parent is hard, but I'm like, it's the hardest thing in the world. Yeah. It changes your whole the way you view life. It changes even. This gonna sound deep. It changes your insides, like even how you view people and how you view situations, and just like the world is completely different than how it was when I was 12 and then when I was 25, 26 or whatever. So it's like, wow. This is interesting.
Like even now, and maybe this is going to sound childish, but even now I use my mother as my emergency contact.
I think I use my sister, but I got to stop that.
Okay. Well, I'll be there in 24 hours.
I gotta get a plane ticket. I use my sister, but the main reason why I use my sister, which is gonna sound childish, is I don't know what. I always feel bombarded by that question. I always feel like that question always come out of nowhere. And my sister, the only number I know by heart. I don't even know my girl number by heart. I'm gonna put the number that I know by heart down instead of the person that can actually be there in 10 minutes.
I'll be so mad when they ask for 2. I'm like, bro, who else? But yeah, even like thinking through that, it's like, and that's just a small example. But like not having my mother in my life, how do I answer that question now? I got memorized now. Or my other sister's number. If I live in LA.
But that's really all you have in I'm talking about like in your proximity, and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is actually the beautiful part of life, to where people supposed to grow old and pass.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully without no trials and things to where like a sickness made them pass, but just oldness. So like prayers up for like our guy, man, because it's gonna be a tough road. It's definitely gonna be a tough road. And he have to quiet those inner thoughts. And not inner thoughts. I don't want to make people sound like they battling inner thoughts of like hurting themselves. But you will have inner thoughts when a parent goes away. Because it just humans have this thing of control. They feel like, what could I have done? What could I have done better? You know, I wish I would have traveled more. I wish I would have done this with them while they was here. I wish I would have cherished them while they was here. You have to quiet those thoughts. As soon as my father passed away, less than a year later, COVID happened. Who know how I would have had to maneuver through that turbulence. Yeah. I'm not going to go out the way and say, I thank God he died before COVID. Yeah. But it's like, it could have been worse. Yeah. It could have been worse. Sometimes you just have to go through, you have to sometimes, it sounds crazy to say now because you're not in the situation. But whatever situation you're in, you just have to say, it could be worse. It could be worse. And that's how I get through a lot of things. Like I had the privilege of knowing my mother for 12 years. I had the privilege of knowing my father for 25, 26 years. You get what I'm saying? Some people don't know who their parents are. And I'm not trying to hold their situation like, ooh, I'm happy ain't you. But I'm just saying, like, I'm still blessed. Yeah. Nevertheless. And our guy is still blessed to where we was all able to come together. I'm happy we all came while she was alive, because that was on my heart, because I kind of saw what was going to happen, being that I experienced it, and I was like, yo, if everybody's free, let's all meet up at the house now while she was here, and we all able to make it. I got T made it, and he left there and went straight to work, and you definitely made it through and stuff like that. And I was happy that we was all able to talk with him and be with him, and not let the first time we all be together is at a funeral. You know what I mean? And it's going to be hard. And the hard part on our part is going to be to continuously be there for him. And that sounds mean, but like, we got our own lives. You have your own lives. I have my own life. And if you keep sending that friend that's going through something like, yo, you good? You straight? And every time they say, yeah, I'm good, I'm straight, I'm good, I'm straight, eventually you gonna be like, you just gonna forget to check up on them and things like that. So
is that enough though? Like,
what do you mean?
Maybe that's not a fair question, right? Because who's to say what's enough for a certain person? But like, and I never experienced this, right? I never experienced a loss of a loved one. But you know, that's the common answer. Like as from a guy, like if you say you straight, most guys are gonna be like, yeah, I'm straight.
Yeah.
And so, like in that situation, isn't it enough just to ask if you straight? Like maybe it's like, hey, let's grab something to eat, or let's you free right now? Let's kind of swing through real quick.
Oh no, all those are good options.
Because even if they don't want to talk, like I think even just us having a conversation in his basement after was enough like break from everything that's happening.
No, that's true. But my thing is, how often you gonna do that?
Yeah, this can't be too often, right?
I get paid twice a month. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it's one thing if it's a great thing. Are you gonna do that every month? You get what I'm saying? For like the rest of his life? You get what I'm saying? I think eventually you need to go to a professional if you feel like, you know what I mean?
Talk to somebody.
So being on the other side, I'm not saying you feel good, but you don't really know what you want. You know you don't want to talk about it because there's nothing to really talk about. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when somebody say you good, it's not the correct answer, but it's the easiest answer to give without going into detail. It's like, yeah, I'm good. It's like, for example, there's some things that I had to get fixed that I shared with you that I was like, that wasn't an error on my part. It was an error on someone else's part that affected me that I had to come out the pocket for. You get what I'm saying? So, yes, it was hard, especially at the timing of it. So when you say you good, I'm like, I had to write a check. But the easiest answer is like, yeah, I'm good. Like, but at the same time, you're like, that was a hit. But it's like, I'm going to be good. I'm good. So, and I don't even know if it's fair to put that burden on your friends if you're not good to that point. And that's crazy because I am that friend that comes through for everything. And I don't even, because it's too high. The expectation is too high. You got to give that to a professional. You can't depend on me when you're going through something to call you all the time, to take you out to lunch all the time, to take you out to dinner all the time, to be on the phone with you for hours all the time. I think that's even too much to ask for a friend. And that's a friend that really, like, I'm talking about that friend that is a friend that should call you and come in the middle of the night. I think that's too much.
Yeah, I don't think that's healthy.
And it's like, wow. And truth be told, on the other side, as the friend that's helping out, you want to do everything you can. Wait, even that's going to be like, wow, we're talking about this. And you're trying to carry their burden and things like that, but you got to live your life.
I don't believe in carrying burdens, but easing a burden.
Okay, easing, maybe carrying burden. You know, I grew up in church, so I hear carry burden. Okay, it's a church term. It's not real.
Yeah, but I also wonder, right? Because they could be like small gestures, or even like one grand gesture that the person might be like. Because I think it's abnormal if you're like.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Keep that thought. What are you looking for when you ask? Like, you good? Like maybe
just an opportunity.
Okay. Because I don't know if I'm particularly looking for someone to like really open up and tell me if they're good or not. As crazy as that may sound, like, because I think that question got so routine that if you be like, you good? Or if I ask you good and then you like hit me with the like, no, I'm not. I feel like I have to brace myself now because I'm just so used.
I just wanted to know.
So, like now I have to I have to put a serious face on like what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things to where I want to be able to solve your problem, and what if like I can't? You know, it is kind of weird. Like so when like you ask like you good, do you like genuinely want to know if people are good, or is it more like a polite thing like please and thank you?
I think it depends who the person is.
Okay.
I had this conversation with my girl, where I guess coworker, but they was like in a higher position. You know, they opened up about like, you know, AA and them being alcoholic, and it was like a small group of us. Mm-hmm. And they opened up, and I'm like, why is he telling us all this? Like, to just kind of explain like a behavior that he was like displaying. I was like, why is he telling all this? And so me and my girl was talking about this, and she was like, yeah, I think that was inappropriate.
Really?
I mean, we in a work profession. Like, we're not loved ones. What can we do for you? Now you're affecting how we, like, it was, and I think if you're walking down the street and somebody's like, hey, how you doing? Hey, nice to meet you. Take care. And they's like, I can't. I was like, wait, what? I just can't. You know, I mean, yes, I think it's nice for you to listen to that person, but I think most people would try to listen to that person because, you know, we don't want to be bad people.
Yeah.
But I think it's unfair versus like a friend or, you know, somebody that a loved one. Like my sister, if I ask her like, hey, how you doing?
That's different. Yeah.
Like if she opens up, yeah, that makes sense to me.
But if a colleague at your job was to open up, like, hey, it been a while since I checked in. I'm just checking to see is everything good on your end. And they open up about
that's cool.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
That's cool because I'm like, hey, I'm just making sure everything's good with you. But like being like, yo, like you need to relax with how you're talking to people. And he's like, sorry, I used to be an AA, blah blah blah, does that? I'm like, bro.
Okay. So he kind of volunteered.
Yeah. Or it's like, hey, how's everything? Or just like, hey, how's everything? You're like, yeah, my mom is this, my mom. I'm like, I'm not your manager. Like I can't I can't give you time off. I can't, we're on different teams. Like, why you open up?
But someone said he may just needed to get that off his chest.
Yeah, but that's not my like. I'm not the person for you to, because maybe there are certain things I have to deal with. Now you bringing this up, I'm trying to forget about my mother that just passed due to. Now you bringing this up, I'm like, bro, like mothers just. So you don't know. But I think as a friend, if you ask that question, yeah, you gotta be open to the answer. I think you're right. It's so routine for people to be like, hey, how you doing? I think for me though, there is like I do keep that space in mind. Like if I ask that question, it could get serious.
Brace yourself.
Yeah, it could get serious. And so and I think also the reason why, because you're good at, if someone asks you how you doing, you're pretty honest. Mm-hmm. Like you're not like, oh, I'm straight. If something just serious happens, you're like, yeah, I'm surviving.
It depends who the person is though.
Okay.
Because if I don't respect you in that way to share and be open with you, I'd be like, nah, like I'm good.
I'm not going.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, and then in my head, I'm like, oh, this is good enough for that person. Like I'm not going to solve the problem. Mm-hmm. Like unless you ask me a question like, how would I do this? How would I do this? I'm like, okay, you just need to take this off your chest, which is why I think in the next episode we go, a lot of people don't use that. They go to they don't go to their friends just to vent or just to rant. They go, to social media. Yeah. And a lot of times people just want to hit, just get things off their chest.
That was a good tease. That actually was a good tease.
Check out next week's episode. But yeah, I think, a lot of people just want to get things off their chest. And I think, as a friend, that's enough. That's where you're giving. That's where you're helping out. It's just to get them just to talk. And I'm like, that's enough. So I just keep that in the back of my head. If it goes something like even the conversation I just had, I asked him like, hey, how's everything? He's like, life is hard right now. And then I at first I was like, I got a podcast.
No, at first I think you wasn't gonna answer the phone call.
Yeah,
but I definitely, it kind of goes back to what I said in the
sacrifice.
car.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you're not an inconvenience.
Yeah,
and now you kind of feel like you did your part as a friend.
Yeah,
and listening to making sure like, yo, you good, you straight, and like, and hopefully whatever your boy going through, prayers go out to him and his family, things like that. But like, to close this episode, it still was a beautiful week.
Yeah.
It still was a beautiful week, and it was beautiful that we all was able to gather for our guy, and we just can't gather to party and club and to when things are high, when it's easy. You know what I mean?
You should do that still.
No, you have to do. You let's trust me. You have to do that. You have to do that. Don't be calling me only on sad occasions, please. It's too much. But when life is high and like things are amazing, man, we gotta celebrate those moments. And you can't put off what can be done today for tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. So if there's a celebration that something to be celebrated about and stuff like that, or just even celebrating how long we all been friends. It's not normal for friends to be like, I know you for 24 years. You get what I'm saying? That's something to celebrate. So it's just, and also be prepared. When you ask, yo, you good? No matter who it is, brace yourself. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like somebody may offload on you or stuff like that, and really tell you they're not good and things like that. But anything else you want to share, man? This was an interesting week, a good week, a good time. All of us showed up and stuff like that.
My car got broken into again.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I caught the guy.
Yo, Ghostbusters. Yeah. I'm actually gonna pray for you. I am. No, I'm not lying.
I mean, life is still beautiful.
I mean, I'm not talking about here, but I'm just saying, like, I'm actually like, when I pray, I'm gonna actually lift up. I'm gonna lift up your neighbor. Okay.
Lord, just give him no car issues. No.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all have a good week, man. Blessings.